Study Section 12, African Monarchical System and African Socialism. Introduction. In this study section, we will examine the nature of the monarchical system in Africa. In doing so, we will explore the forms and some distinct features of the monarchical system in Africa. We will cap this section with a discussion on African socialism. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this section, you should be able to describe monarchical political system, present features of African monarchy, discuss African socialism, monarchical absolutism. Monarchy, as we know, is a form of government that is majorly characterized by having the political power being wielded, either totally or partially, by a single individual who is the monarch. It also involves having the sovereignty of a nation or community being embodied, either actually or in name only in the monarch. In cases where a monarch has minimal or no legal restraints in exercising power over state matters, it is an absolute monarchy. This kind of monarchy is an autocratic one. However, where such discretion is limited by power, it is a constitutional monarchy. In many small communities and large empires in pre-colonial Africa, monarchies were the seat and the source of state and political power until the advent of colonialism. In recent times, these monarchies seem to exist mostly as ceremonial symbols, possessing little or no political power. The structure of many monarchies in Africa have particular variations, which are as a result of different cultures with other factors like religion and even the population as well as the size of the communities, playing a major role in how this system runs. Distinct features of African monarchical system. 1. Hereditary elective system. Despite the fact that there are outstanding variations in the structure of most monarchies in Africa, there are also distinct features that seem to cut across them all. Firstly, it can be identified that most monarchical systems in African communities take the form of hereditary monarchy, in which the title office is passed through inheritance within particular lineage or a wider family group, that is the royal family. Some of these monarchical systems also incorporate an elective process which involves a system of voting. This comes up especially where two or more persons of the same pedigree considered eligible for the office seems to be qualified to take the throne. This system of voting is usually a closed one that is not open to all members of the public, but a select few like the priest or chief within a community. For example, the Oyo Empire did not operate totally hereditary monarchy or an absolute one. The Alaafin king was selected by the Oyomese, the political arm of the Council of Ministers. Such king did not have to be directly related to his predecessors, although he must be a descendant of Onoyan, also known as Onominyan, one of Oduduwa's sons, and must hail from Onoisokun, one of the three royal wards. Balance of powers. Most monarchies in Africa were not absolute monarchies, where the monarchy is allowed to exercise power arbitrarily and without question. They exercised considerable powers and were able to rule by decree, promulgate laws and impose punishment, but it was always subject to certain checks and balances, either from the warning of angering the gods or the threat of falling out with the elites or the people in general. It could be said that the African monarchical system, like that of the Benin Empire, the Oyo Empire, and the Ashanti Empire, among others, operated a system that was a balance between an absolute monarchy, where so much power resides with the monarch, and a constitutional monarchy like that in England, where the monarch is just a ceremonial head. The role of religion. Religion plays a great role in virtually all African monarchical systems, such that it cannot be divorced from the political life of such states. Firstly, the monarch and the royal family often derived their right to ascend the throne from religious myth, which often declare that the royal family are descendants of the progenitors of the land, or the first ruler and or spiritual leader of the land. In the Oyo Empire, reigning monarchs were said to be descendants of Oromiyan, who is a direct descendant of Oduduwa, the great ancestors of the Yoruba. In the Sokoto Caliphate or Empire, sultans are descendants of Usman Dan Fodio, who became ruler and spiritual leader of the Caliphate after conquering and uniting Fulani and Hausa land through Islamic jihad. Religion also plays a major role in checking the excesses of the monarch and prevents the monarch from ruling arbitrarily. As such, priests or the spiritual clan in a community are often incorporated into politics and government of the state. A good example is the Ogboni court, which alongside the Oyo Mesi serve to check the Alaafin of the Oyo Empire. Every monarch who ascends the throne must get the approval of the gods, and monarchs could even be dethroned if the gods have proclaimed it necessary. Because of the great role that religion plays in giving legitimacy to the monarchy, ensuring that they continue to enjoy popularity with the people and having the power to unseat a monarch, priests and other members of the spiritual clan often enjoy a great deal of political power too. African socialism. African political thinkers chose socialism at the dawn of independence, first with the belief that its option would concretize the social and economic foundation through which the living condition of their citizens can be improved. Also, that the choice is suited to meet the challenges of post-colonial African history and culture. Finally, the fact that Africa had already been socialist in its classless, harmonious pre-colonial days. However, the approaches towards realizing this socialist dream differed among the thinkers. Leopold Senghor, Negritude; Kenneth Calder, Humanism; Julius Nyerere, Njama; Mobutu Sese Seko, Mobutism; Nkrumah, Conscientism; Sekou Touré, Dynamic Socialism; Obafemi Awolowo, Democratic Socialism. Senghor contended that African societies and cultures emphasize communal values, and as such, this should not be eroded away at independence, but rather to be reviewed, recovered, and developed. It sets out an ideal society that will integrate the contributions of European socialism with our traditional values. He concluded with a preference for African socialism grounded in African experience and perceptions. Nkrumah, on his part, infers that African socialism is meant to remold African society in the socialist direction, to reconsider African society in such a manner that the humanism of traditional African life reasserts itself in a modern technical community. A scientific socialism is framed to synthesize modern technology and human values in which technical society is realized without the staggering social malaffections and deep seekings of capitalist industrial societies. He believes that this can be achieved through socialization of productivity and distributive processes. His brand of socialism is called conscientism. Nyerere grounded African socialism on the notion of Njama, or familyhood. Njama embraced socialism, a means of building on the foundation of the past classless society and building on the communal setting of brotherhood. The principle, in short, is embedded in the people's pristine ways of life. According to Nyerere, Africans cannot be converted to socialistic practice and be taught democratic ideals, in that both theories are rooted in the African traditional society. However, things never turned out as planned by the African thinkers, as their economies remained subsistent and foreign capital stayed away due to the new ideological policies. Also, there were natural and man-made disasters. Military coups and counter-coups d'etat occurred. Besides, some of the African thinkers perpetuated themselves in power, strangulating dissenting opinion and surrounding themselves with messianic institutional structures of tyrants in history. Study section summary. In this study section, you learned that the African monarchical system cannot be pinned down completely to few features, as so many others varying features characterize each empire or kingdom because of the different factors and experiences that influence how these monarchies are shaped. Lastly, we noted that African socialism is a belief in sharing economic resources in a traditional African way, as distinct from classical socialism. This ideology, African, was fashioned by African political thinkers to particularize their homegrown socio-political and economic experiences, distinct from the universalized socialism. End of study section 12. Thanks for listening.